Okay. Today's shir is the Kudasichas Chelek Yud Aleph Tetzave Aleph. We'll mention the topics that the Rebbe is going to talk about. The Rebbe is going to talk about Chelek Yud Aleph. Okay, put Yud Aleph here. The Rebbe is going to talk about the Machlokes of the Rishonim, the Rashi and Even Ezer. When we say Shemen Zayis Zoch, what does it mean? Does it mean that the Zoch, the Zayis has to be Zoch, or the Shemen has to be Zoch? What does it mean, the Zayis Zoch? The Zayis Zoch means should be a nice fruit, not an olive that's bitten into, and not an olive that's rotten. That's one type. Or the Shemen has to be Zoch, pure, as you say, virgin oil. Two types in the Pasuk. Because what does the Pasuk say? Shemen Zayis Zoch. The Zayis should be Zoch. It should have said Shemen Zoch, the Zayis. So we'll be a Machlokes, Rashi and Even Ezer. The Rebbe is going to talk about also where did the Eden get oil or olives in the Midbar. There's no olives growing in the Midbar. Whom's got olives or oil? The Rebbe is going to talk about as well the din of Hidur, give the best for Yiddishkeit. Zeh Kelev Aveyu, Kol Chelev LaHashem, the best for the Yiddishkeit. Is that only for the mitzvah itself, or also for the Hachonah mitzvah? When we say you have to give the best, is it only when you do the mitzvah, or how about the Hachonah mitzvah? That's Machlokes. The Rebbe is going to also talk about there's two things mentioned about a zayis. One thing it says about a zayis beteva is bitter. The oil has a little sweetness, but the zayis is bitter. Zayis, it says when you eat the zayis, the seam of Sechta Hoida is when you eat the zayis without the oil, it's kosher l'shikha. It makes you forget what you learned 70 years. And if you eat it with oil, you can remember what you forgot for 70 years. So what does it all mean? Now, we'll start the Sikhe, but I want to mention that there's a order brought down in the, I heard it from Mel Tzibul, there's an order brought down in the Teres Menachem, that middle of the Verbrengen, this is the Verbrengen of Tokshech of Hey, middle of the Rashi Sikhe. The Rebbe gave on questions, and middle of the Verbrengen, the Rebbe, middle of the Rashi Sikhe, he gave questions. The Rebbe noticed that some few people who were sleeping. So the Rebbe said, okay, we'll make a hefsek now, the Rebbe said, and let the people try to answer, figure out the answer of this Rashi, but that's not a punchline. The Rebbe says, Mir hat gerumen a ganze Nacht. It took me a whole night to figure out this Rashi. I hope you guys make it quicker. The Rebbe said, this Rashi hat gerumen a ganze Nacht, and ich hoffe, ich mache es schneller. Okay, let's start this Dipsich.
The Aleph is very
Aleph. Chelek Yud Aleph, Tetzave Aleph.
Tetzave.
Yeah, man hat schon Tetzave. Betchilas Parsha Seinu, the only from the Parsha, beginning of the Parsha, Maitik Rashi, Es HaTeves Va'ata Tetzave Zoch. The first Rashi says Va'ata Tetzave, and then it says Zoch, but in other words, the word Va'ata Tetzave is not explaining. Mefarish Rashi teaches what does Zoch mean? Beli Shmorim. That in the oil should not have any pieces of the olive itself. As we learned in Sechta Menachos, Mergarigiroi Berosh Hazayis. The Gemara Menachos talks about how do you collect this shemen? Where do you find the shemen? You climb on the top of the tree, not the zaysim that grow on the bottom. The top of the tree, and you take one zayis from here, one zayis from there. Why the top of the tree? The Mishnah and Mevarish. The top of the tree are the one of the zaysim that have the most sunlight, and those fruit are the quickest ripen. So, in order to have the oil coming out flowing from the olive easily, you have to have a ripe olive. So find the olives on top. Begarig means you choose a olive here and there. Rosh Hazayis. This is the Rashi. Frag the Rebbe Tzorach Lov. Let me stay. Olive. Mizeh sherashi eine mefarish teva zoch shel posik. Rashi doesn't touch zoch. Zoch means pure. Shapirushe noki means pure. Ukeitzeh. Ki'im rak mevayir ha'inyin. Rashi only explains the inyin. That means no taruvet of shmorim. But it doesn't touch the word. Bli shmorim. Muchach, the Pirush zoch yoduo. So from the fact that Rashi does not touch the word zoch, is a simon that Rashi says, everybody knows touch zoch. Zoch means clean, pure. Rashi does not bring a touch. You have to understand, zach v'noki mima, what clean, pure from what? So that Rashi says, shouldn't have any shmorim. Mevar, you say shmorim. Okay, this is the Rebbe is explaining the Rashi. Says the Rebbe, "Vein moving, my kamashblon, had a moving ma'atzma. It's self-understood. The noki, what does it mean? Clean, pure. Hainu mitaruba is called over zor. When you say pure, means there's nothing mixed into it. There's nothing. It's pure when you buy pure orange juice. It's only orange. There's nothing there. So when you say pure olive oil, it means nothing is mixed into it, including shmarim. So why does Rashi B'chalal have to bring a taich shmonasham? If Rashi would taich the word zoch, I can understand. I don't know the taich zoch. Rashi told me it means pure from what? From shmarim. But Rashi doesn't taich the word zoch, which means Rashi says everybody knows the type zoch. Zoch means pure. So if everybody knows the type zoch means pure, so why don't you believe shmarim? Pure means nothing else fell into it.
Shmoil is part of the olive.
The Rebbe didn't say that. The Rebbe said what? Yeah. Okay. Ha'orah 3, of this what you've heard the Shaila. The ein loy mit Rashi balishlo shlo tayme de gam kishesh bei shmorim efshel kreisle shemezach kivish hashmorim b'fnei atzmi lamatu. Two things. First of all, when you have oil, the shmorim fall in the bottom of the bottle. So the top is zoch. She'ein mis'ar mashem shal mikima the shemen ein mis'arev im shumashke kinir b'chush because the meisel zoch movim atzmi the zoch and em b'shemen hu nikiyis mit dvorim zorim. The second paragraph, l'chayra, efshel leimar, which other forms of the shmorim, mekivish and boy masayis atzmoy. Ain't done with those zorah. It's not something you said from. It's part of the shemen. L'chayra efshel litoy zizach and em shemen ain't shel shmorim. Aber bizeh kosher lider gesed mal seide sharashi b'pshut shemikra shashem tzarlich lishmor manusha. If you're going to take the pshat that you're saying, says the Rebbe, that shmorim is part of the shemen, that's why it's still called zach. Is that the pshat? How does Rashi know that of a pshat it can't be shmorim to it? If shmorim is part of the zah, is part of the shemen, what's wrong of a pshat? So Mela, we have to say it's something deeper there that Rashi teaches not the types. Zach means nothing but virgin oil. Where does Rashi get that? Base. The Kambam bePashi Kisiso says the pasuk Levoino Zaka. V'lei Pirishashi Zaka Mima. They were talking about Levoino in Mincha, Pashi Kisiso, and it says Levoino Zaka, pure Levoino, pure oil. And Rashi does not say that pure from what? If Rashi felt necessary, but here to say Zaka Mima, Mishmorim, why there? Does it tell us Zaka Mima?
What's the meaning Levoino?
The oil. The spices, but you put the spices in the oil, and the oil in the flour, that's the mincha. The oil is a liquid.
Yeah, what kind of liquid is it?
It's an oil liquid. An oil mixed with vinegar. That doesn't have to be the size of the menorah. It's a liquid which is mixed with, there's vinegar, there's oil.
But what kind of liquid is this? What's the name of it?
It's an oil. Levoina is shemen levoina you put into the mincha. It's not the shemen you put in the menorah. But the Rebbe is asking, and not on the name levoina, on the zako mima. Here it says zoch mima lishmorim. So what's their zako? Rashi, that's explained. Gimel. Rashi maybe raya lepiure. Rashi means a raya to his beer. K'meish sheninu. Rashi says, like we learn. If you want to say that zoch means pure, nothing else is there, why do you need a Gemara here? Pure, nothing mixed in, is a pashta zach. Why do you need a eye from a Gemara? Dalit. Ein dag Rashi lahavi rayis the pirushi b'pshut shemikra medinim shebechelek ha'alot Torah. Rashi does not bring rayis to his pshat from dinim in Torah. But there Rashi the following Rashi, kosis, Rashi says kosis. Kosis means crushed. Hazeisim hoy koitesh, you would crush the zeisim, not grind them. Vashem and Hasheni posel menayla, the kosher minchas. Shenemar kosis lamoy, but the kosher nochas. So the next Rashi talks about why did it say kosis crushed, not grind? Because kosis you crush it, and the first drop is good for menayla. The second drop, not kosher l'menayla, kosher mincha. Rashi does not say that this din kosher l'moy kosher l'menachis is a Gemara. Why over here that Rashi says kosher shenini we learn the Gemara. Papi said beneath the dan Even if you're going to say that Rashi has a reason why he has been a raya, that has to be oil without any subdued, any things in the oil. What's the raya from Pshat? From what we learned in Gemara? Pshat has nothing to do with the Gemara. So much so Rashi sometimes says the Pshat in the Pasuk that's not fits with the Gemara. Hey, fifth question. Rashi might think Menachos. Rashi quotes which part of the Gemara Menachos. But the Gemara says Hatev is Megargerei Bereish Hazayis. The Gemara says you collect the olives from the top of the tree. So the Rebbe what's the right from that Gemara that has to be oil without any pieces inside? It's not from the fact that you're collecting the olives on top. Ella, from the end of the Gemara, the Mishnah, that you crush it. From the word crushing, that means you crush it, you don't grind it, you crush it, let the oil run out. As Rashi will explain the next Rashi. Kosis, you would crush the olives with a crusher. You're not going to grind it, you're only going to crush it. Our Rashi meitig v'pirush hatevis shemehem ein ikar araya l'pirushay. Rashi brings a raya to his pirush from the words of the Gemara that's not a raya to him. V'hatevis shemehem raya l'pirushay from the words that should be a raya to Rashi's pirush. Merav zeh b'chol, he always brings a b'chol. Page 128. Thank you. Want to join?
Where this be there?
What? You want to know the Sefer? Sorry? What?
They learn a lot.
Oh, you will learn a strict law? No, you learn. Okay. Vov. Lama maybe Rashi b'pirushay gam hamaramokin k'meshashin b'menachos. Why did Rashi have to say which Pesach it says? Rashi should have said k'meshashininu, the Gemara. Well, of course it's time k'meshashininu u'b'yesi yukshe should be pirushi pash emer k'yised b'menachos u'b'teres kain. Semalashah. Why Bechlam mentioned the Gemara, and why over here mentioned the Gemara, and there mentioned the Gemara and the teres kain? Zayin. Somewhere around here, the Rebbe says that people are tired already, and the Rebbe says try to find an answer. Rashi meitig min hakosim gam hatevis v'ata tetzave. Rashi brings in the pasuk also the word v'ata tetzave. Af she'enei mevayir el tevis zoch. Rashi only types the word zoch. So why does he quote in the Pirush the word v'ata tetzave? Al kol chatzorach leimar she'Rashi meitig. Why does Rashi quote the first words? Because from the word V'ata Tetzave is a raya to Rashi's Pirush, it means Leishmor. It's all we have to know, Mahi ha'echocha min ha'teves V'ata Tetzave. What does it prove from the word V'ata Tetzave? Sha'shemet tzorach li's bli shmora. The oil has to be without any pieces inside. Beis ul idoch im yesh echocha min ha'kosav. If there's an eye from the pasuk, Ma Moisev Rashi B'harayim Sechta Menachos. If the pasuk tells me that, and that's why he quotes V'ata Tetzave, why need the Gemara? These are the 7 questions that I've had on this small little Rashi. Okay, here starts the beer. Babir Bazir. I mentioned earlier a machlokes of Ibn Ezra and Rashi. The Ibn Ezra is going to say Shemen Zay Zoch. So he said that the Zayis has to be Zoch. The olive has to be an olive. A nice olive. Don't take a bitten in olive and use that to crush the oil. Don't take a rotten olive and crush it for oil. No. It has to be a nice olive. That's what evidence.
So you have to go to the top
for nice olive.
for the nice olive.
Good. Rashi said you have to have not a nice olive. The oil has to be zoch, not an olive. The reason why on top the portion of the Gemara Menachos say because when the olive is not ripe yet, it's not easily flowing out of the olive. You have to have a ripe olive to give it a crack open, and the oil comes. If it's not ripe, it's still too attached to the fruit, and it wouldn't come out so easily, the oil. But
and then probably get shmorim.
that's the Yeshma. All good. So here the machlokes between Ibn Ezra and Rashi. What does zoch mean? On the shemen or on the zayis?
So according to Ibn Ezra, what's the meaning of zoch?
On the zayis. Zayis zoch. The zayis is zoch. Which zayis should you use for the menorah? A zayis that you have to have a nice olive. It wasn't bitten into. It wasn't meupash. It wasn't rotten. That olive you can make for oil.
So the shemen
There's nothing to do with shemen. And Ibn Ezra fits more in the pasuk. Shemen zayis zoch. It doesn't say shemen zoch. The Ibn Ezra will more pshat. Okay. The Rebbe is going to talk about what shemen beruchnis is, what zoch beruchnis is, what is zayis beruchnis. Rabbi Bezer, because of Nema shemen zayis zoch, kosis lamor. Look at the order of the words. Shemen, oil that comes from olive, that is zoch. Kosis lamor. There's a machlokes in Poskim Choshen Mishpat when you write Reuven ben Yaakov sheyichye or Reuven ben Yaakov olav hashalom. The chsim at the end goes on who? On the father or on the son? It's machlokes of Poskim in Choshen Mishpat when you write a star. Reuven ben Yaakov, you write Reuven ben Yaakov sheyichye. Who's sheyichye? On the Yaakov or the Reuven? It's a shayla halacha. The same thing is we say in Chanukah. V'mei matisyo ben Yochanan kohen gadol. Who's the kohen gadol? Yochanan or Matisyo? So you have to know the title. So here Rashi says, the apostle says zoch. On what is it? On the shemen or on the zayis? V'nei b'tevas kosis. The word kosis museves al tevas zayis. Kosis means crushed, not grind. When you grind something, you get pieces inside. You crush it, and the oil flows out. Goes on zayis. Hainu shazayis sarglius kosis. You have to take the zayis, and the zayis have to crush. Ulvizeh kosher lefarish yeteva zoch v'amura ben zayis likotis musev l'teva shemen. Look, it says shemen zayis zoch kosis. Zayis is the olive. Kosis goes on what? On the olive. So the word in between zoch, it doesn't fit to say it goes to the shemen. It fits more. It says it goes to the zayis. The havel of shemen zayis. Kosis zoch. Shemen comes from an olive, and crush it to be pure. V'aynisha shemen sorachlius al shal zayis kosis. It has to be from olives who are crushed, not ground. Zayis are kotish menachteshes, and beis zoch should be pure. Elo, says the Rebbe in the bracket. Shebedeichig yeshlefarish shebetchila kos ha'teira ha'tanoim shebeshemen. Further, the Torah says the conditions about the oil. Al shiyah al shal zayis. It has to be dafka olive oil. You can make olive out of anything else. No, it has olive base. It has to be zoch. V'achar kach mefarish hamtzoy. Then the pasuk is going to say, how do I get the oil out of the olives? Shebichdei shiyah zoch. Who are they? Shiyah zayis kotis. In order to have a pure oil, you have to crush, not grind. That's a doich to say. The order of the psukim, the words, are kind of saying first talking about what kind of oil, and then how do you get the oil? Says it ever. Since the pasuk says oil from olives, pure, crushed, you have to be mefarish. Kipinish Ibn Ezra. The zoch koyal zayis, pure goes on the zayis. Fa'inu shazayis sorach zoch. The olive has to be pure. The cut is and crushed. Shetzorach likach hagargarim. You have to take the fruits, the pits, the fruit of the olive. She'ein b'am ipush. That has no rot. It didn't rot. Oishloi nechlo b'ktosa. Nobody bit into it. No animal, no bird or insect bit into it. Umimenu yas Hashem l'machal malachim. You want to use a oil for the Eibishter, for the menorah, you have to take from a fruit who's the best fruit. Which is the best fruit is, it shouldn't be a rotten olive, it shouldn't be a bit into olive. Of who bites into olive could be the birds or the insects, as they touched the Ibn Ezra. Upir zeh, this pshat of the Ibn Ezra, shoylel Rashi, this pshat Rashi says, I want to say it's Rashi, I don't agree with that pshat. When Rashi writes Bli Shmarim, He's telling me I don't like the pshat of Rabbi Ebenezer. What does it mean? The Pirush is there, this Pirush of Rashi, Blish Morin Ball, Loy Levar Teva Zoch. Rashi is not coming to teach, to explain the word Zoch. Kikanal, moving Atzme, Zoch, pure is understood. Pure is understood. The Rebbe is going to answer the question. Ella, Lechadesh, the Teva Zoch, Museves ala Shemen, V'leil Azayis. Says the Rebbe here, we ask the question, if Zoch, if you don't know what Zoch means, so why Levoid Zaka don't teach? No, Rashi knows that everybody knows what Zoch means. Zoch means pure, clean and pure. So why over here we have to teach something Blish Morim, and by Levoid Zaka doesn't teach Zaka? You know why? Here is not teaching the word Zoch. Here is Mechadish that Zoch goes on the Shemen and not on the Zayis. Rashi is showing the Pirush of Rabbi Ebenezer. V'hainu, Zeu Shepirish Rashi Zoch Blish Morim, the Shlilas Taruva Shmorim, the fact that we're saying that the oil has to be no mixed into any parts of the fruit of the olive, Lo Titochen al Benegei L'Shemen, V'lei Benegei L'Zayis Kimuva. When we say Blish Morim, it has to be talking about the oil. It can't be talking about the Zayis. There's no Shmorim in the Zayis. The Zayis is the Shmorim. But what do you mean by saying Blish Morim? Rashi wants to be Mechadish that the Zoch means over here pure. Who has to be pure? Shem has to be pure. So Rashi is not teaching the word Zoch. We know the teich. That's why the question of Levim Zaka is nicht talking kasher. We know the teich of Zach. Pure means not mixed in. That's not the issue. We don't know that. Rashi wants to be shoyler, not to learn at Ebenezer.
So according to Ebenezer, the Shem could be with Shmorim?
The Rebbe is going to say could be, not could be. Ebenezer not doing that. Avi Pshat. In the Gemara, said Taganish, but Avi Pshat could be. In the Dvar Malchus this week, they printed the Maimer of this Farbrengen. The Maimer is a bring out to Tetzave, and the Maimer talks about, in the Maimer, the Machlokes of Rashi and Ebenezer. And in the Maimer, the Rebbe says both of them were Pashtonim. The Ebenezer also Pashton. He's Pshat. But Rashi has his way of Pshat, not Pshat, Ebenezer was like the Ramban or something. The Rebbe says that the Ebenezer was a Pshat, and the Rashi is Pshat. Two ways of Pshat. Okay. So Rashi is Shoylil the Ebenezer Pshat. Okay, Gimel. Ubechdei lo yichia.
Who was first, the Ebenezer or the Rashi?
Rashi was first, but the Ebenezer traveled a lot. The Ebenezer he was born in Spain. He went to Portugal. He lived in Italy. Went to Tetzave. Lived in England. He spoke English. Ebenezer.
So he
wrote in English also.
Rashi was first.
Yeah. And Ebenezer he had a hard life. He said he wrote a lot of poems. A lot of piyutim of the Ebenezer as well, and he wrote the famous line: "If I would go into the line of selling tachrichim, nobody would die." That's the Ebenezer's line.
He couldn't find a job, or
He had a hard time. And I thought you said maybe he should have found a job of tachrichim, nobody would have died. But that's what he said. Understand that the Rebbe writes in a letter that the Mittel Rebbe said that the Ebenezer went Yigayin al Pikidish Hashem, and the Rebbe writes, I haven't found it in any other source. At the Mittel Rebbe Gizok that the Ebenezer Yigayin al Kiddush Hashem. What was made?
it was the Rebbe said he didn't find the source to it.
Yeah. Other than the Mittel Rebbe's work. Gimel. Ubechdei lo yichiach the teva zoch koyal Hashem ulei lazayis. In order to explain, in order to be a raya to Rashi Pshat that the zoch goes in the Hashem, not in the oil. After doichik kukanal l'chayre, it's doichik why? According to the order of the words, zoch should go on the zayis, not in the shemen. Might take Rashi min hakosim gam tevis not to the Tetzave. Rashi quotes the word Tetzave as a raya to his Pshat. That the Zoch goes in Hashem, what's Pshat? Rabbi. Hatzivui devaata Tetzave yikro lecha nemen b'yisim v'yisrael b'midbar. The Eibush tells Moshe Rabbeinu, tell the Eden to bring olive oil. Where you find olive oil in the midbar? Mokim shein zeisim k'dein sham. There's no olives they're growing. So what do you tell? Go talk about find an olive that's a pure olive that's not no blemishes and no, you're not going to find olives in the midbar. Umuchrach leimar שהדליקו סמנלה בשמן שלוקחו עמהם ביציאס מארץ מצרים. Sagt der Rebbe, man muss sagen, that they took with them out jugs of oil. שהריאף שלמה שלוקחו עמהם זייסם וכל משך הזמן וקודשם המדבר. It's not practical to say that they took wagons full of olives, that the whole time they were 40 years in the desert, they crushed olives and need for fires, for whatever they need for light, for 40 years. Mele, so I remember when the orders were asking this question, and oil, you do believe that they had oil for 40 years? Why is the Pella that olives, we can't say you had for 40 years, but oil, yeah? Between both of them, it's more likely to have oil than to have the fruit of the olive itself. When is this happening in Midbar? In Midbar there's no olive tree. That's an ayah that you can't mean the pasuk says that the zayis has to be pure. Because they already brought oil. Because once you have oil, could you tell in the bottle of oil if this was crushed by an olive that's bitten from an insect or a bird, or this is olive that was rotten? You can't tell. So if you have to tell, is that ayah talking about fresh olives? Where's the fresh olives in the midbar? Mele was his own zach cannot go on the olive itself. Zach has to go on the oil. That's the Rebbe said. Bracket. Now that we touch that the oil has to be pure, bleach modern, now you can find, you take a bottle of oil, and you look if it's pure oil, virgin oil, you see that it's pure, there's nothing into it, no pieces. That I can tell, I'll have oil. That's why I can understand Rashi quotes as the heading of this Rashi, the commandment of making the oil, which is explained in this parsha, the Eibusha says to Moshe, tell them in the midbar, lakachas, take Shem and Zayzach. We must explain Shashem is that the oil is impure. Clear.
Okay, what was the hech of the Rebbe to give them the
Rashi's the hech of the Rashi says Blish Morim is a hechrech that we're talking about. Not is the Rashi wants to show that it doesn't mean on the Zayis, it means on the Shemin. What's Rashi's Raya? V'ata Tetzave. V'ata Tetzave, the Eibusha tells Moshe Rabbeinu, tell the Eden here in Midbar, bring Zayis, Shemin Zayis. If you're talking about the Zokos on the Zayis, where do you have Zayis? Zayis in the Midbar. Remember then, they brought with themselves Shemin. In Shemin you can't tell if the Shemin was made from a Zayis, which is Nechal, K'tzas, or Lo Nechal. You can't tell that. And now you're telling the Eden, Shemin Zayis Zoch. So we have to say, that we're talking about that the Shemin has to be Zoch, not the Zayis.
So the Rebbe explained that they used the Shemin that they brought it with them from
Mitzrayim.
So Shemin Zayis doesn't mean the fruit.
Yeah, it has to be olive oil, but olive oil that they brought to themselves. They brought from Mitzrayim.
They brought the Zayis.
Not the Zayis, the Shemin.
The Shemin. So Bigargire the Rishon Zayis.
So the Rebbe says in order 13, you ask me the Rebbe's orders. The Rebbe says, why does Rashi bring down? Yeah, look at order 13. Pire Shashi Megalige Bresha Zayis. Bechele Kamon Pash Yaakov Hashem Amor Afu Tzor Chach Melev Shemeshunim Shashmanim Kashifur Shemenochas Megalige Bresha Zayis who causes Bizarre. So you ask the Shaila from Rav Nissen Fek the Shaila, Gavaldige Shaila. What? Rashi, the Rebbe explained Rashi Hecher Chiz that they had oil with them. So why does Rashi tell me go climb on top of the tree, get an olive? Dr. Rebbe Yeshleim Kavanosi, what is Rashi meaning is Shetzorach Chochem Lev Lahakim Hashem Zach because the Keroi. Okay, the Rebbe's Bekitz, the Rebbe says you have to be able to detect on the Shemen if the Shemen is mamish, no pure, nothing is there. You need a Chacham Lev, not the Chacham Lev to climb the tree. The Chacham Lev see it's mamish pure, or there's very slightly something's there in the oil. So Rashi says, you'll explain later on how do you get that from Rish Zayis. But Rashi says, the Rebbe says that not that Rashi telling me now to climb Rish Zayis. The Chacham Levi is going to see that this is made from oil, that there's nothing there. Well, how is nothing there? Look at the Gemara Menach, they'll tell you how to make sure that there's nothing going to go into the oil.
The Shemen, it brought down the Yidden.
The Yidden brought Shemen from Mitzrayim.
Yeah, but the Shemen that they used in the Mishkan, it was from the Yidden. They took. This is one of the 13, 15 items that they. Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask another question that I asked in the Hara. The Rebbe asked in the Hara, we know the Chazal tell us that certain things the Yidden bought from Tagar Yisraelim, from the peddlers that were traveling.
So he asked about the crushing.
Right. Yaakov.
Why do you have to schlep it from there?
Yeah. So the Rebbe has it here as well. Why couldn't you say? Why couldn't you say that just like yeah. Let's continue the Sikh inside. Ois Dalet. We add something more to this Nekuda that what? And Rashi quotes the word Tetzave to tell me that this tzvi was in the midbar. In the midbar there's no olives. There's a sharp Talmud that can ask a question. What can he ask? Isn't it better, says this the bright Talmud can ask a question, isn't it better to type the posik, the teva zoch koil azayis, zoch means that the olive should be pure, v'akushya should be pirisheh. You have a question, how do you have a zayis where in midbar there's no zayis here? Yesh l'taretz v'lochel v'kurayat b'derech kaponim, the prat hachiyuv zayis zoch einoi elo k'shivoy l'tisrol. That the Abisha says here in the desert you have to bring shem zayis zoch. Here I don't have any olive trees. When you will get to Eretz Yisrael, then it will be olive trees because Eretz Yisrael is Eretz Zayis Shemen. V'yicholtem l'hasik zayis zoch. Ubemidbar she'ein klal zayis. Ein makom l'tanai she'yeh zayis zoch. Hidlik Shem zayis tam. So the Rebbe says the Talmud Memula, the sharp Talmud, is going to ask a question. Al pi pshat, it fits in like the Ibn Ezra. That the zoch goes on the zayis. So you have a kasha, there's no zayis in the midbar. So why don't we say einachanami? When you're going to have zayis in Eretz Yisrael, there pick the best zayis. Today you don't have zayis, you're in the midbar. Here you potter, you do regular zayis. But the is still, what's the right to Rashi Pshat? That Rashi said that the zoch goes in the shemen.
So the whole point that the Rabbi mentioned the Tetzave, that because it was in midbar.
Correct. In the midbar is no zayis. Is a raya that zoch has to go in the shemen.
As the Rikeh Chosim al-Sefer, the point is the midbar is, what's the connection with the Atat Tetzave to midbar?
Where are the Atat Tetzave, who's the given? Where are they? They're in the midbar. And they told him, here, make shemen zayis, and make it zoch. So Rashi said there has to be that the zoch goes in the shemen, because now there's no zayis. But now the Talmud Memula Fatah Shayla. So the Rebbe is began them mevuel b'zeh shemaiti Rashi teves Atat Tetzave. Not only Atat Tetzave, what is tzivui? Shemeruz is ein tzav el meyad ule deires. When the word tzivui means now and forever. Umuchach, says the Rebbe, shetzivui zeh chal meyad gam b'yeisim b'mitbos. You can't say that tzivui zach is Eretz Yisrael. Umekiv sheyesh shaleim sheyedu lahafkin eid Hashem hu shal zeisim zachem kanal. Says the Rebbe, the word Tetzave answers even the deep question, the question of the Talmud Memula. That's not a complete raya to Rashi's Pirush. We can say it Shebnei Yisrael Yedu Sheitstavel Hashem Lamor Bechlal. Just like the Eden knew when they left Mitzrayim, they have to take oil along. Why? Because the Eibishter is going to tell them a tzivi of having Shem Lamor. They didn't take any food for them, but they took oil for the Shem Lamor. They knew there was going to be a tzivui. Kach Yodu Sheidim Mitztavis Liach Shem Zayzach. Ubetzesim in Mitzrayim Lochim Am Shem Mizaysim Shlonechum Miktzos. So the Rebbe Akasha. Maybe, perhaps, just like the Eden took oil along with them. Why did they take oil? Because they knew the Eibishter is going to give them a tzivi of lighting the menorah. So maybe if they knew that kind of future, They knew that maybe that the olives from where the oil comes from should be olives not bitten into. So what's l'chayre? We could do like Even Ezra, that they knew, just like they knew they have to need oil, they knew they need the oil has to be from fruit that wasn't bitten into or not rotten. L'chayre, Moshe Rashi, maybe Raim had the Sheninim and Menachos Megadi Gurei Beresh's eyes. That's why Rashi makes a lie from the Gemara. That you have to climb in a tree and pick the ripe fruits. What's that? The fee Pirush Even Ezra, according to Even Ezra, the Hazai Sochli Yisach, that the olive has to be ripe. It has to be the fruit that doesn't have any, it's not rotten, or there wasn't eaten or bitten into it. If you're looking for a fruit that grows that there's nothing bitten into, why are you going on top of the tree, says the Rebbe? On top of the tree is the most likely for birds to come. The Rebbe Shar says, Verkehrt du grad, weil bis oder zwei lokachs mit azeisim agdelen beemtsa betugilen. Le mile mit fises the adam higher than a person's hand can reach, but le matem reshilen low to the top of the tree shows the gilusham. So if you want to have like Even Ezra, that the fruit should be not bitten into, no insects or no birds, why are you climbing to the top? The top is the most likely the birds to get. The birds are not going to come to the middle of the tree. Get dafke olives with the middle of the tree, higher than a hand's reach and lower than the top. Oh, so why is Rashi called that Gemara? Since the Gemara says Menachos, that you go to the top of the tree, Muchach, the Lufia Gemara, Zach, Koyal Hashemen, V'lelasai. So here's a raya that the pureness comes from, goes on the Shemen, not in the olive. Why? If it goes on the shemen, that's why you climb on top of the tree. The oil that comes out of olives, which are on top of the tree, they're very ripe. Because they're very ripe, so the peel and the fruit could separate from the oil. And there's no difference. It could be a rotten olive, and you're allowed to use it, according to Rashi. But the ikid and shemen should be zoch. And that's why the shemen should be zoch, that's why you climb top of the tree. Why? Which fruits are the easiest to separate the oil from the fruit? Those are the most ripe. Which is the most ripe? The top of the tree. So from bringing the Gemara, is that nacharai to Rashi Pshat that the Zach goes in the Shemen, not in the Zayis. Moshe Rashi bin Menachos. Rashi adds and says in Menachos, Lishloel Teres Koinim, to exclude what Rashi brings down in Parsha Emer Menachos b'Teres Koinim. Why not Teres Koinim? Kisham Hu v'Gamadei Teres Koinim also brings the opinion. The Tanakama Sheteichne Berachayim, that you grind them with a mill. Menachos nimtzas there is like the Gemara, not the Mishnayos. Rashi can mamshich ve'einam teichne b'lechaim. Rashi does not quote Teres Koinim. Why not? Why? Because Rashi says here you don't grind it. Rashi wants to emphasize shemen. You crush it just to open up that the oil should come out. Dine kan midubar b'sigun l'sipur b'hemshich l'siyas hamishkon. Our parsha talks about telling us the story how you make the mishkan. V'lachakach bo parsha chanuk the mishkan. Shekol zehoy b'reif pe'er v'hodor u'bashiris. The mishkan was made with the most richest possible. The Rebbe asked a question, Pasha Trumer Rebbe asked a question. If the place, this is the holiest place, so why have Kesef and Chesed? It should be only Zov. Only Zov. The Rebbe answered because Kesef, Zov, Kesef and Chesed represent different people. Kesef shows an Ave, Tzadikim. Zov, it has a redness, it shows about the Tshuva. And Nechoshes, says the Rebbe, has the word Nochosh, is a person that's not yet about Tshuva. And even though it's not yet about Tshuva, he also could make a Mishkan. So you need but the base of the Mishkan was done all with Bashiris. Hashegi Pasha Emesh, he Pasha Mitzvahs Aneiris, Dini Hashemen. Lachen Kan, here when Rashi tells us the story how it was built, Pinish Rashi, Kifi Shahoi Bepoil Bamidbor. Well, Pasha Emer Apidim, Lachen Murchan Loheis Sham Oitzin, Teres Koinim. Lachen Gam Moises Sham Gimel Shman. Here, Pasha Tetzave, talks about how it was actually built. Parsha Emor talks about the dinim. The dinim has more dinim, but the way it was built, full of shittas. I'm going to conclude the next two Oisius. The Rebbe talks about the Ois Vav talks about Yonam Amifloim, halacha of the Rashi, and the Zion talks about Chassidus. What's up in the Yonam Amifloim? The Rama brings down that a person does a mitzvah, it has to be kol chaylev l'Hashem. You have to give the fats, the best of yourself to give. Now the Machlokes said, the Rebbe said the chikira can be is the best means on the mitzvah itself or the preparation of the mitzvah. That's the Machlokes of Rashi and Ibn Ezra. The Ibn Ezra says the olive from where I'm going to make the oil has to be a nice olive. The olive is not hakos on the preparation. What am I using for the mitzvah? The mitzvah is the oil. So the Ibn Ezra says even the preparation for the mitzvah has to be the nicest and the best. Now she says no, the mitzvah itself, the shem has to be the best. Well, how do you get the shem? You can take the rotten oil, the rotten olive, or the eaten olive, and also use that. So the Machlokes Rebbe says, halacha would be, Rashi says, do you have to have kol chaylev l'Havaya also on the achana, or only the mitzvah itself? Benegay, this prat that Rebbe likes that the Ibn Ezra. In other words, Benegay, Rashi Pshat, Rashi says shemen, that's what he says. Benegay, the Rebbe answers, even the achana, the achana be good. That's Negay and Yonam Efloim, halacha. Then the Rebbe goes to Chassidus. Chassidus are two types. What is a higher level? Is the Zayis higher than the Shemen, or the Shemen higher than the Zayis? At one pshat of Chassidus is brought down, and the Rebbe talks about it in the Maimer. The Maimer again, Tov Shechofei, printed in Bar Malcha this week. The Rebbe talks about the ultimate thing is the Shemen. It happens to be the Shemen is in the Zayis. But what's the ultimate thing? The Shemen. What is the Zayis? The Zayis is Mechasel al Shemen. It's Meilim the Shemen. So what do you got to do? Cut this, you break it, you crush it. Like the Rebbe says in the Maimer, the Zoya, which says in Tanya, a goof, a body, a Yiddish body that doesn't accept the oil of the neshama, what do you do? Mevachelei. You got to splinter it, because if you have a too strong of a piece of wood, the fire doesn't catch. So the Zayis is a Meile, hell of a hester. The Zayis is a clipper. You got to crush it. Says the Rebbe, that's why Zayis is bitter. Bitter shows on clipper. Number two, that's why Zayis makes you forget. That's clipper. Clipper is Shikris clipper. That's if you learn that the market is what's the best, the Dover Mile is the Shemen. So Dover, I don't know how Pshat Chassid is that the Zayis is higher than Shemen. Why? The market is higher than the thing itself. Rebbe's Mevai, the Maimer, just like we have in the Geya, the Adonim. The Adonim is the bottom, the foundation is on the bottom, and the foundation is on top. When we live in this world, the foundation is in the bottom, we build on top of the foundation. L'mayla, the foundation is l'mayla, and we hang from the top. That's how it works l'mayla. So Mela, if you say that the Zayis Gizat Shemen, so the Zayis is the market, so higher level. What's Pshat? Shemen is Chochmah. What's the Zayis? And even in Chochmah, there could be with Shmar and without Shmar. There could be Chochmah Ilah, Chochmah Stimah. But then it could be Keser. But the Rebbe says, what is the Zayis? The Zayis is Yoshes Choshech Sisrei. Atzmu is not hidden because it's hiding from us. In our circles, when I say something is hidden, it's hidden from something else. But it's not hidden per se, it's hidden from my eyes, from the other guy's eyes. The Eivish says Yoshes Choshech Sisrei is not pshat that he sits in darkness. The Eivish is such a massive, such a high, uplifted massive, that it, compared to anything, it's considered Choshech because we cannot understand it. It's not Begoli. Anything that's Begoli, it means light to us. If it's hidden, so the Darg of Zayis is God Hecher, Yoshes Choshech Sisrei, and that we have to bring down to the Shemen and to come down to oil.